Hi, this video is on an introduction to moving in your front stance, okay? So I put some lines on the floor, some blue lines that hopefully will help give a frame of reference so that you can really see what's going on with my feet and my foot position, okay? So first thing, we were talking about the front stance. It's a forward stance with your weight distribution. You have to keep all these things in mind, and what the foot position, leg position, hip position, toe position, all that is. Keep that in mind while you're practicing this, because if you throw that out the window, then there's really no point in this exercise, okay? We have to maintain the front stance while we're doing these exercises, okay? So we're moving into and out of a front stance. I'm going to start in this position. I'll back up just a little. I'm going to start between these two lines. So this is what I was talking about when I was talking about our feet shoulder width apart. And now it's going to become very important that you start to imagine railroad tracks, okay? So train tracks. These two blue lines represent those train tracks. Those are approximately my shoulder width apart. So as I stand here in my natural stance, my feet are on these lines, my shoulders could fit down there between, and I want to imagine those railroad tracks. Now as you practice, sometimes those tracks might be a little bit wider and they might be a little bit narrower, but they're never going to be touching. When they touch, that's when we get to what we call a balance beam or a straight line. Okay, for this basic exercise, learning how to do this, if you can make it a little bit bigger, that's often better for you than making it a little bit smaller. So I've made these lines just a little bit wider. So if I were to really put my feet between, I'd be in a very wide natural stance, which is just a little too much, okay? I've made them a little bit wider, and this is so you can really see what I'm doing, okay? So we're going to step forward in the front stance, and when I step forward, I'm going to start with that one. When I step forward, I'm going to move my right leg. So that's this one. If you're my mirror image, it's going to be your left leg. So you can, this is going to be your left leg if you're my mirror image. So if you're facing me doing this, I will do this as if we're mirror image. So I'm going to refer to the side that you will be on, not the side that I'm on. Okay, so right now I'm moving forward in my front stance. And if you're facing me, that means you're going to be moving your left leg. All right, I'm going to move my right leg. So to make this happen, I don't just pick up my foot and step forward on that line. Okay, that is not the martial arts way of moving. One of the things about moving from one stance to another or into our stance and out of our stance is we want to keep our feet contact in the floor. If we keep our feet contact in the floor, this allows us to change our mind. Our body will be in a position of balance throughout the movement. But as soon as we lift our foot off the floor, and the higher we lift it off the floor, the more likely we are to disrupt the balance of our body and keep ourselves from actually being able to move as effectively as possible and efficiently, okay? So we don't want to throw our weight around that way. We don't want to disrupt our posture and our balance, our body alignment. So by sliding our foot on the floor, by keeping contact with the floor, this is what we're going to accomplish. Now, too much contact on the floor is going to also disrupt our movement. So there's an art to learning how to slide your foot on the floor. It takes practice. If you're not getting it the first time, don't worry about it. Just keep trying. Your foot should slide. So one exercise you can do just standing here, shift your weight to the other foot. So my left foot's going to move, okay? Your left foot's going to move. Shift your weight to your right foot. Bend your knee a little bit and make a circle with this foot. Just slide it in a circle. Can you make a circle there? Can you go the other way? Keeping the bottom of the big toe on the floor. If you can do that, you're going to be able to take your crescent step. Okay? And then practice that on the other side. So shift your weight onto this leg. Okay? And then bend the knee. So don't be standing there like this. Okay? Bend the knee and then make a circle with this foot. Can you make a circle with your other foot? Can you go both ways? You can do things like write your name or do the alphabet, but just a circle, okay? Can you go both ways? If you can do that, then you're going to be fine with your crescent step. So step one, do that, okay? If you need to pause the video now to practice, pause the video. All right, so now let's continue. So to take our step forward into our stance, we need to, one, shift our weight. So I'm moving my left leg, I'm shifting my weight to the right. And now I slide this foot in toward my foot, and then I slide it out where I want it to go, and I establish my stance. To come back out of that, I'm going to lift my back heel a little bit, bend that knee. I'm going to slide this foot back, and then I'm going to slide it out. Okay? So I shift, slide, slide, shift. Shift, slide, slide, shift. Shift, slide, slide, shift. And I'm going into my front stance. Okay, so on the other side, I'm going to shift, slide, slide forward to that other line that it came from, and settle my stance. I'm going to shift back, slide my foot, slide out, stand up. As I shift my weight, I sink. I'm bending my knees, so I'm sinking onto that leg. Slide this foot in, slide it forward, and down. I'm sliding on the bottom of my big toe, the very bit of the ball of my foot, but I'm not trying to keep my foot flat on the floor. If I try to keep my foot flat on the floor, I'm going to get a lot of resistance. Okay, so I don't want that resistance. That's going to make it hard for me to move. Okay, so I shift and I lift the heel off the floor, slide the bottom of the foot, slide the bottom of the foot, push the heel down. Okay, so that's moving forward in the big picture. Now if I break it down into count, I'm going to move my left leg. So I'm going to put my hands up in a double guard. On count, this is going to break into 4 counts first. So I'm going to go 1, where I shift the weight and slide the foot in. 2, where I slide out and I establish my stance. And then I'm going to return to my natural stance. 3, I bring my foot back. And 4, I stand. So 1, 2, get your stance, check it out. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side. 1, 2. It goes out on that line. 3, it comes back. 4, it goes out and I stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I'm stepping forward when I do this. So I'm not stepping here. I'm stepping 2 of those. Okay? So if this is my shoulder width, my foot should be going out there. So when I take this step, I'm stepping here and then forward and then back and then out. Okay? Together or in, not together, but just bring the foot in underneath you. Out, back, and out. Okay, so that is moving forward in your front stance. Remember to always check your stance. Make sure your weight is forward. I'm moving forward on the line now because now I'm going to step back into my front stance. Stepping back into your front stance, you still have to do a front stance. So your weight is still going to remain forward when you get to that stance. This is a little bit harder. The movement is easier for most people, but getting the stance to be correct is harder. Okay, so just try it out, okay? Here we go. So my hands are up, and you can even start this with your hands on your hips, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to move my left leg. I'm going to shift just like I did to go forward, but now I'm going to choose backward. And now, without looking, this foot has to go back onto that line. And I'm bending this knee, this leg is straight. My posture is up. Okay, to come up, I bring this foot here, and then I stand in my natural stance. So this one goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, practice that on both legs. So you're going to practice your right leg stepping forward a bunch of times. I would suggest 20. Okay, your left leg stepping forward a bunch of times, 20. Your right leg stepping back and your left leg stepping back. Okay, so try that out. This is moving forward and backward in your front stance.